What's up, YouTube? It's BGM 1990-0114, aka Blind Gamer 1990, and whew, man, what a show! You know, first of all, before we get going, I do want to apologize for not doing the Survivor Series prediction show with the attempted simulated card as promised, but because I wasn't thinking with a clear head today. I was trying to get everything in order and nothing was falling into place. As in, guys weren't not getting the belts they needed and stuff, because in my copy of 2K18, the guys that you see have the belts on TV that's not what's on the game. I tried to set it up as best I could last night, but I got a vast majority of it right, but some of it's still out of place. But regardless of that, I thought, why not try to do a Survivor Series review for the night? I'll try to go match by match. I may not be able to tackle all the highlights for you as much as some professionals do, but I'll sure as hell try to give you what I thought were key points and stuff. But Survivor Series took place at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas tonight. I think it was a 2-hour pre-show, which was a lot of hype. You had Enzo Amore with Drew Gulak defeating Kalisto. Nothing too special. It was a cruiserweight match. In my opinion, Enzo Amore is a good heel. I mean, the guy can talk trash with the best of them, but he's a good heel. He knows how to do his thing. He's been at the game for about 2 or 3 or 4 years now. I've lost track, but he's really good. Enzo goes over Kalisto. They only gave Kalisto the belt for like a week. It went over like a fart in church, basically. It was like, ooh, it's for Hispanic month or something like that. And when it was over, that was it. So you had Enzo going over Kalisto, nothing too special there. Then you continue with the pre-show, a lot of talking, hype. Then about 7 o'clock is when the show got underway. You had the Shield versus the New Day, and these guys, they brought it. It was a hanger, a banger, and God knows what else for a first match on the card. I'll never forget the closing moment of the match where Dean, Roman, and Seth did that triple powerbomb from the top rope. I mean, talk about your sky riser. I mean, that was way up there. They dropped, was it Kofi? I think it was. They dropped him from way up. He was like way up in the air, and they just cannibalized him, dropped him down, and that was all. So you had the Shield go over New Day. No, it's all right. The crowd is into the Shield. That's the I can't say nostalgia, I guess, because they needed to come back. Roman has been getting a lot of heat over the past few years. I mean, booed at every show, but WWE tries to hide it. And sorry about that. Had to take a sip. And they want to do something with the Shield where they come back and and it's worked so far. It's really worked. They get over New Day, and it was a hell of an opening match. I mean, both guys just left it all. Both teams left it all in the ring, and it was something else. Then you had the girls. You had Nia Jax, or you had Captain Alicia Fox for Team Raw, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Asuka, the newest arrival on the Empress of Tomorrow, versus Becky Lynch, Natalya, Naomi, Tamina, and Charlotte. No, actually, I'm wrong. Who was the fifth girl on Smack? Carmella, I'm sorry. Mrs. Money in the Bank. This is one of those matches where, you feel bad for some girls who don't get a chance to showcase what they can do. You had Becky Lynch get eliminated immediately, which I thought was complete bullshit. She is a hell of a talent. I will say that till the day I breathe my last. Becky Lynch is a hell of a talent. But you got, you have so much going on, and it's like, People. It's one of those It's one of those fast matches on the card. I mean, they just went in there and they, it was like boom, 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 eliminate, 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 and it came down to the end where, Asuka was in there with Natalya, and she beat Natalya clean, and Raw won that one. So you had the Raw women beat the SmackDown women. I'm surprised that there wasn't any betrayals or anything like that, because you had, what was it? No, wait, was it Sasha Banks? No, it was, yeah, it was Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. Alexa Bliss was later in the night. We'll get to her in a little while. But Team Raw women beat Team SmackDown, so Raw's up 2-0, right? Next, you have Intercontinental Champion The Miz with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, The Miz Taraj, against Baron Corbin, the U.S. Champion, on SmackDown. And we got a nice little shot of Maurice, who is expecting their first child together, so big ups to The Miz and Maurice. I don't know what to say about this match. I mean, it was one of those matches where you could have gone to the bathroom and come back and it wouldn't have mattered. But Baron Corbin, who's gotten a lot of heat over the past few months, if I've read correctly. I've listened to Wrestle Talk News. Check them out if you haven't. I've listened to a lot of people say that he sucks. He's not the best. He's not over. He's just an asshole. But the guy, The Miz has been doing all this cheating tactics for months now. He's had the Miz Taraj on riding his coattails. Maurice has been by his side, getting involved, helping him win all the time. And, but Baron Corbin just went in there and said, boom, 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 boom. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. He went in there and said, deep six, end of days, and it was a good match. Miz got some offense in, did the figure four, and then Baron Corbin came back and hit the end of days, and that was all. So you had Baron Corbin go over on the Miz. SmackDown trails 2-1. Not a bad show so far. What really bothered me was the Stephanie McMahon backstage segments where she talks to the girls in the first segment. And I sent out a tweet saying, what the hell is this? Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am? What the fuck is that? It was like, is this a fucking softball team? Go out there and just get base hit or base hit, just annihilate the fuck out of somebody? What the fuck is this? And then she, after the girls had their match, or I think it's when this was, she basically emasculates Danny. That's her thing. Stephanie McMahon's night, all she does is go out there and emasculate. She'll emasculate and bury those that are beneath her. And that's, or let me rephrase that, everybody. Not just those that are beneath her. It's everybody. It's the whole damn roster. And I don't mind telling you, I've been the biggest anti-Stephanie McMahon person for years, and it will continue. Even if she's a face, it'll continue to be that way, because it's like Joey Numbers once said. I listened to Wrestling Soup this week. He said when she emasculates, it's like, go fuck yourself. I mean, shit far. I mean, her character has, I know it's in kayfabe, but it's been the main reason that I've stopped watching Raw. I mean, hell. And hell, dealing without her is like, we've had a nice dose of fresh air, but nope, gotta let her back in. Damn it. Let her back, let my daughter in, damn it. Mr. Man's probably saying to the writers right now, let her on, get her back on TV, god damn it. But it's just the way she is. I mean, all she does is, it's the same shit every week. Emasculate, wave that vagina-sized finger in everybody's face, and yell and bitch and scream, and just be a complete bitch. And I know it's her character, but god damn it, when is enough with this woman? I mean, When will she get her comeuppance? And I hope I can't. Well, the men can't touch her, so that's an easy target for her. But maybe Asuka could get a hold of her or something. She emasculates Asuka, then oh my God, we'll have to call the morgue or something for Stephanie because they're gonna need it. She's gonna need it. But I'm getting off subject. Anyway, after you had the Baron Corbin Miz match, then you had the Bear. We are the Bear. We don't just hit the Bear. We are the Bear. Sheamus and Cesaro with the gum shield, so he sounds like this when he talks. He's got a gum shield in his mouth. So yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro against the Usos, and it was what the Shield knew they was. It was a hang and bang 'em type of match, and I mean, I think I thought a key point was when Sheamus hit that ring post hard. It looked like it knocked him out from what they were saying, but they just, it was a back and forth, a good match all around. And in the end, the Usos get the win, and SmackDown is tied it up to do a piece. And they got all this done in less than 2 hours. Up next, then you had the girls. You had Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte, which I watched on YouTube her feel-good moment with when she won the SmackDown Women's title and her dad was there and they had a hug in the rampway. It was quite the touching moment. Rick, who's been through so much, just the past few months. I mean, he almost died in the hospital for crying out loud, and he's out there hugging his daughter on live TV because she just won the women's title. She beat Natalya clean, and it was a touching moment. But these two had a good. Alexa and Charlotte had a good match. Alexa was like working on Charlotte's arm most of the match, and she hit a lot of her moves, and Charlotte hit some of her moves, and then. Like I said, I don't really watch the matches in their entirety. I just want to get the results and stuff. But I did catch Charlotte hitting the natural selection. She hit the boot, and she made Alexa Bliss tap with the figure 8. And that gave SmackDown the lead in the brand. So Charlotte goes over Alexa Bliss by submission thanks to the figure 8. SmackDown up 3-2. Now, we get into I guess the appetizer for the main event, but how can you call this an appetizer? Raw Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, SmackDown Universal Champion AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, and boy, he was phenomenal tonight. They had quite the hell of a video package to hype this match. But what really irks me, and I understand where he's coming from, is when Paul Heyman hypes up Brock Lesnar like he's God. He's the reigning, defending WWE Universal Champion, the Beast, the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar. I'm waiting for Paul Heyman to blow his guts out when he says that. Brock Lesnar. Just blow his guts out. And, but, it started out, AJ came out of the gate really quick, and then Brock said, took him to Suplex City a few times. AJ looking like a dead fish in the water, so to speak, and then he comes back, hits that 450, doesn't beat him. Does the calf crusher later on, doesn't beat him, but he gave Brock a good twisting of the knee, so to speak. But he held on to that for a while, and then hit the phenomenal. I thought he ruptured Brock's eardrum with an enziguri to the side of the head, but. He hits him with the enziguri, whacks him with that phenomenal forearm, and doesn't beat him. But he tries to do it again, and then Brock comes out and says, F5, 1, 2, 3, done. But it was Brock's longest match. I mean, I've been a critic of Brock for years. I mean, ever since he came back here, it was like, I only do it for me. I'm Brock Lesnar. I'm a beast. Nobody can beat me. Blah, 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 blah. And, it's like, what the fuck, You're signed to this multi-million-dollar contract. You work for a company that's going to make you money. And hold on. There we go. It's like, you don't, you have Paul Heyman come back with you, and Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar for, I want to say, 5 years. He's been there for 5 years already, 4 or 5 years now, Brock. And he does the thing with Triple H, goes over him at SummerSlam, loses at WrestleMania to preserve his career, and then loses again, and Brock beats him at Extreme Rules. They had a good feud, and then Brock makes John Cena look like a bitch at SummerSlam that year, because they had just started the whole authority angle. Triple H tries, and funny, it all started with Vince McMahon being a dick and Triple H saying, no, that's not going to fly. And then Vince McMahon would do something, and they would they fired Vicky Guerrero from her job, and then Vince McMahon hired Brad Maddox because the crowd was being assholes and they didn't do what was right. And then she got the job on SmackDown, and I thought Vince had a fetish for Vicky Guerrero when he kept bringing her back, blah 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 blah, and it was like, here's the biggest bitch on the TV, blah 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 blah. But no, Vicky's a sweetheart from what I've been told. She's really, she's a real sweetheart. But nonetheless, where was I? Oh yeah, the Brock and AJ match. I'm talking about Brock. Brock, makes John Cena look like a bitch at WrestleMania, or at SummerSlam, I mean. And then he goes on this, run as WWE champion for a while. Back, or WWE champion, because that's back when they merged the belts. Excuse me. And then he does that for a while, and then he loses the belt to Seth Rollins of all people. And actually, he doesn't. He loses the belt, but isn't involved in the match because Seth cashed in Money in the Bank. Brock chases Seth waits, and then he gets a match with Seth at Battleground, blah, 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 blah. But shifting ahead a couple years, a year later, he wants to, he's doing this thing, he's the bad guy, he's only brought in as an attraction. He works with he beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Who can say they've done that? Brock is the only man Brock Lesnar is the only guy that said he can do it. He beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and he has a rematch at SummerSlam over a year later. Which they had the match at SummerSlam, and then they had a match at Hell in a Cell, which I thought was dumb. They should have just ended it at SummerSlam, but no, they had to have that controversial moment, and then that was all. But nonetheless, but you got Brock, who comes back. He's in the Rumble, or he fights Goldberg at the Survivor Series. Goldberg punks him last year. Goldberg punks him out, makes him look like a complete bitch. In less than a minute, no less. I watched that match the other day. Less than a minute. And then the Royal Rumble comes around, and then Brock gets eliminated from the Rumble by Goldberg. Again, he gets punked out by Goldberg again, and then Goldberg wins the belt at Fastlane against Kevin Owens, and then he loses the belt to Brock at Mania this year, at WrestleMania 33. If I'm asked, 33. And it was a good match. It did what it needed to do. It got Brock over on Goldberg, and that's when he started being a bum. And I said Brock Lesnar is a bum, and he will be a bum until he quits or retires or whatever. But he doesn't. He's not. And then he's gone for the post. No, he was on the post Raw Mania, but that was the last time we saw him until Great Balls of Fire when he fought Samoa Joe. They hyped that up really well, and they just fucked it up because it was like Joe's doing all the offense. Brock says F5 done. It was like, what the fuck, And then they do a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam with Joe, Brock, Braun, and was it Finn? Yeah, Finn Balor. I think it was Finn Balor. No, it was Joe, Brock, Braun, and Roman Reigns, and Brock wins that. I didn't see that match, but he won it. And then they do Brock versus Braun. Now, I wanted to see Braun. We'll get to Braun later on in a little bit, but I wanted to see him win more of Braun in a bit. I wanted to see Braun win the belt. Braun, it was a casual. These guys were murdering each other every week, leading up to No Mercy, and it was like a dud. It was a fart in a diving helmet. It didn't work because Braun was doing all of his stuff, and Brock just he's been a bullshit champion. But you can't, and that kind of leads us to here tonight against AJ. Because, and let me tell you about AJ. AJ comes in 2006, comes in last year, 2016 at the Rumble. I thought he was just going to be there for a while and then be gone. But he's there, he has a thing with Chris Jericho, he gets a few shots at the title, he's drafted to SmackDown in the WWE draft. I will say draft because I don't like saying what they call it now. It's a draft, goddammit. A draft! But nonetheless, he is WWE champion twice. He won it last year. He fought James Ellsworth. We miss you, James. He fought, what was it? He had a good run as champion the first time. He was a bad guy. It got him over. And he lost to John Cena at the Rumble this year. 16-time champion. They better not have him break Ric Flair's record. I'm sorry, but I've been a Ric Flair fan for years. I grew up watching Ric Flair and Sting and guys like that. But they better not even think about breaking his record unless Ric Flair really wants him to do it. But I don't think it should happen. I mean, that record is like sacred ground. You don't tread on it. Well, AJ, does not get the belt again, and then they decided to put the belt on Jinder Mahal, which I thought was a mistake from day one. And anybody that was supporting Jinder Mahal was like kissing his ass. It was like kissing his ass, pretty much. It was like, how can you support this asshole? He doesn't deserve it. He's a fucking bum, and he's a jobber to the end. How do you not just say, fuck this guy? But they roll with it for, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 months. Because he had the belt. He beat Randy Orton 3 times. First time was when he got the belt. He beat him 2 more times, and he beats Nakamura twice. And he loses the belt to AJ on a European tour. But they, and then it hits. But they're finding there wasn't any belts on the line tonight. I understood why, because they didn't want to switch brands or anything like that. But there wasn't any belts on the line tonight. But that was a good match with Brock and AJ. Brock goes over with the F5, and it's even. Or it's am I missing some? Yeah, when Charlotte beat Alexa, it was I'm trying to think of what the score was, because there was 1, 2, 3. Or when Sheamus and Cesaro beat, I'm trying to think how it worked, because it was kind of confusing the whole night. They kept actually keeping a tally on everything, but it was a draw. Brock tied it up for a Raw, because SmackDown had won 2 straight. Or Raw won 2 straight. Then what was it? Corbin beat The Miz. That was 2-1. Then Charlotte beat Alexa. That evened it up. And then you had the Usos and wait, it was 3-3. I'm sorry, it wasn't 2-3. It was 3-all after Brock beat AJ. I guess I didn't keep track of. Yeah, the tag team match made it 3-2. The Usos and the Sheamus and Cesaro. When the Usos beat them, it was 3-2. But yeah, I forgot to mention that the Usos go over on Sheamus and Cesaro, but it was a damn good match. Then you had Charlotte and Alexa, and then Brock and AJ. But it was 3-all, and then I think that's how it went. I don't understand the tally or anything. They just kept on doing it the whole night. But Brock and AJ, they had a good match. AJ got his offense in. It wasn't enough to beat the Beast incarnate. Brock did his main shit, suplex. He needs to broaden his moveset. Really, he needs to broaden his moveset, because I know he's an ex-mixed martial artist and shit, but is anybody getting tired of just seeing suplexes, Kimura lock, F5 all the time? Or, in his case, suplex, Kimura, F5, done on occasion. Is anybody getting sick of that? Because I am. He's boring. He's a bum. Alright, enough about Brock. But they had a good match. Brock goes over with the F5. It's even at 3-all. Now you get into the meat and potatoes, the main event. Team Raw, captained by Kurt Angle, with Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Triple H, versus Team SmackDown, captained with Shane McMahon, followed by Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, let's see, what was it? Randy Orton and John Cena. Now, they started out really good with this match. Shane kind of was like in and out the whole time, and they did the whole thing where he just, he was like tagging in and out, but they kind of like traded moves. Everybody did their moves and stuff, but the eliminations I thought the eliminations were quite surprising. The Orton and John Cena and Shane gave Braun a move through the announce table, and he was like laid out for a while. They didn't help him or anything. He was just laying out there. Now, I thought he was a legal man. They should have counted him out, but they left him. He laid there for like 10, 15 minutes, and then during that deal, Cena was gone, but some of the eliminations were quick. Like Joe was eliminated from Raw first, I believe. Then it was Bobby Roode, and I think Nakamura didn't. Nakamura was first on SmackDown. He didn't last, and that's sad because he was doing some good shit. But you had Nakamura, Bobby Roode got eliminated, and that left Orton, Cena, and Shane on SmackDown. Then you had Joe get eliminated on Raw, and that was Joe was just he was doing his normal stuff. He got some of his moves in. Then you had what was it? Angle, Braun, Triple H, and what was it? Balor in there. Balor did pretty good. He got him, and I think it was him and Angle got John Cena out of there. I always thought they would focus on Orton being the sole survivor of of Survivor Series all the time. He's had that reputation as being the sole survivor in the ring, so to speak. The last one, usually the winner of all. But they broke that this year. I broke it several times, but I don't remember the first time they ever did it though. If this is it, then if this was the first time, then holy shit. But it got down to basically Triple H, Angle, Strowman, and Shane. And Kurt, they're beating on Shane. Kurt, of course, you can't forget, I want to go back a little bit, because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens tried to fuck with Team SmackDown, and Owen, and then Shane kind of hit him off with a chair, and then Rude and Nakamura got involved. They ran him off and stuff, but Shane kind of hit him off with a pass. But you had Orton was in the ring doing the stuff with the guy, Strowman, because Strowman got up not long after Zayn and Owens showed up, but somehow Orton got eliminated with a running power slam, and then you had Shane there by himself, and they're beating on him and stuff, and then Angle puts the ankle lock on him. He's in there for a while, and then Angle Triple H decides to, because Strowman was still in there. He did not get eliminated at all. But Triple H decided to hit Angle with a pedigree, like he helped, or he stopped Angle from hurting Shane, and then, Basically, he was like, what the fuck, why would you help your brother-in-law? And then he, out of nowhere, he pedigrees Shane, and then 1, 2, 3, that's it, And, but that's not the end of the story, folks. Not by any means. Because Braun has this look on his face like, what the fuck did you just do? Why did you betray your own brand? Well, but, and then Triple H pedigrees Shane, pins him 1, 2, 3. Whoopie fucking do, right? Well, you thought that would be the end of it, right? Well, Braun gets this, he gets in Triple H's face, he gets in his face, he grabs him, and he says, quote unquote, I'm saying this right, if you ever play me like that again, I swear to you, I promise you, you will never play this game again. He's yelling at him. He is so pissed off because Triple H played Braun Strowman like a fool. Braun wanted to dominate, but Triple H said, no, fuck you. I'm the game. No one gets better than me. And all that shit, Triple H needs to go. He needs to retire now while he's got his big fucking nose. Well, Triple H was going to pedigree him, but Braun got out of it, and he running power slammed him. And then they're in the crowd, and he's in the ring, doing his thing, and then the crowd's going, one more time, and then Braun picks him up and power slams him again. And then he stands in the ring, and that's how Survivor Series ended. Raw gets over on SmackDown, but the bigger story is Braun Strowman, in my opinion. So overall, a good show. I thought it was really good. I got to, I gotta tell you, I didn't care who won as long as people got to see good matches and stuff. But if I could guess, what this is going to lead to tomorrow night on Raw, it's going to be Stephanie McMahon coming out there and flaunting it like she's been known to do for God knows how long, with her husband and the whole team out there. But then she's going to try to emasculate Braun Strowman, which, Stephanie, if I can give you some advice, I recommend you stay as far away from him as you possibly can, because he is going to murder your husband in cold blood if you screw with him. Because, Braun is a star, in my opinion. I think he's got the tools to be a star. He's on the rise. He can only go up from here. The guy is prime time and ready to go. And I want to see. I love watching him work. I mean, he's this 380-pound big country boy, and he'll go in there and just destroy, roar or brawn. There you go, close enough. And that's all. He goes in there, he just beats the shit out of everybody. And how can you not argue with that? I mean, sure, he lost to Brock, but he's going to get something good before too long. The guy, it's his time. It's his time, and I'm worried that they're going to fucking try to bury this guy, and I don't want to see that, because they've had a history of doing that for years. Bury, big guys, make them look like buffoons and goofs, and it never works. It never works. But Braun is, in my opinion, and he's one of my favorites, he is the man. He's the star right now. I mean, how else can you argue what he did tonight? Stood up to the COO of the company and said, don't you even fuck with me again, or so help me God, I will kill you where you stand. But he's the man. He's the star. He was the star of the night, in my opinion, as far as main event moments are concerned. When you can make your mark on the guy that is running the company, so to speak, or the guy who's the asshole like that, I think he's a face. He's got to be a face now. He's got to be a face now. There's no way that they can fuck this up, but they probably will, because I know that would be how they like to fuck things up. But Braun has got to be a face now. He's had my approval for at least a year now, ever since he started doing the whole thing on after the draft. But it took him time to get to. I think he's there right now. It's going to take him a push, a little more of a push, but he's there. He needs to get that oomph over the edge and into the water, so to speak, and he could swim with the big fishes in the pond, and run with the wolves, so to speak. Run with the bulls and all that stuff. Well, that's my opinion on Survivor Series. I want to thank you very much for checking out this brief review. If you want to find me on YouTube, search my PSN tag, which is BGM19900114. That's BGM1990014. Click on the area link. It will take you directly to my channel, or any link that's given to you relating to a video of mine. And while you're there, please press that subscribe button. 33 of you have done it so far. That number's going up. Thank you very much, and keep it going up, because more subscribers means more content. And I want to make an announcement that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock starts the Thanksgiving Throwdown 4-night WWE 2K18 King of the Ring tournament. I want to remind you how the format works. The first Monday night, 8 o'clock, the first half of the first round will commence. Tuesday night, the second half of the first round commence. Wednesday night will be the semifinals of the tournament, because you can only have 8 in the tournament. And Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, will be the finals of the tournament. All times 8 o'clock, unless plans do change. I am going to Thanksgiving dinner on Wednesday night. That's the plan anyways. So I don't know how long I'll be gone. So it might be either during the day or later, depending on how the day goes. And same with Thursday. Thanksgiving, we could be gone for a while on Thanksgiving Day. I'm spending with my brother and sister-in-law. But looking forward to that. And yes, it will be in a playlist. I have a couple playlists already on my channel. But really though, I have a lot of over 100 videos on my channel, and thank you very much for those that have collectively viewed a video of mine. I'm at collectively over 1,500 views on all my videos. Thank you very much for taking the time to check out my vids. I really appreciate it. You can follow me I also have a Twitch account. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/blindgamer1990. You can add me on Facebook at facebook.com/blindgamer1990. My Twitter handle is at BG199090. And my Skype ID is blindskyper1990. And remember that if you are under 18, are a bot, or are a spammer, or a troll, you will be blocked, and you will be taken care of. You will not be accepted into my circle of friends, so to speak. I will not take the time to talk to you. Just warning you now. Well, that's going to wrap up the stream for now. I want to thank you very much for checking in. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, the Thanksgiving Throwdown WWE2K18 King of the Ring tournament. 4 nights of action. I enjoyed that countdown on Thanksgiving stream with MK at Dragon Slayer last night. That was fun. Check it out if you haven't. And please check out my Tekken 7 story, my playthrough. It's only gotten 4 and 5 views respectively. It's in 2 parts. But, yeah, for YouTube, it's BGM199014, aka Blind Gamer 1990. I'll be saying good night, and I will see you all tomorrow evening. Till 8 o'clock. Ciao, everybody.